Hi folks, some of you may have noticed the frequency of my videos has slowed down somewhat lately. Reason being, this is the time of year that I sequester myself in my basement and spend basically about 3 months loading my precision rifle ammunition that I'm going to use next summer when the matches start. What I'm going to do with this video today is just give you a little bit of idea of what I do for case preparation for my precision rifle ammunition. The first thing I do in preparation for loading my cases is look at the case itself, make sure there are no deformities, defects, cracks, bulges, or anything else that would make this case unacceptable for loading for the next firing in my rifle. Once I finish that, I then measure the case to see what the dimensions are currently. I do not measure the overall length yet. The first thing I'm going to look at is how much the case has lengthened from the base to the datum line on the tapered portion of the case. The way I do that is with my calipers, which are digital calipers, and a Hornady headspace gauge. What I'm going to do is take my case, position it inside the gauge, and then I'm going to measure it. I'm going to take the slack out and measure the length from the base. I guess I need to turn it upside down so you can read this. From the base to that spot on the datum line that headspaces on the inside of the rifle chamber. On this one, as you saw, it measures 2.044 inches. When I adjust my sizing die to size this case, I'm going to adjust it to reduce that measurement about 3/1000ths of an inch. By doing that, I ensure that I'm going to have reliable chambering of my ammunition. I also ensure that I am not working the brass down smaller than I have to, so that the next time it fires, it overly stretches again and prematurely wears out my brass. It takes a little bit of experimentation to find out exactly where you need to be, but about 3/1000ths of an inch, maybe 4/1000, seems to be about right for my rifles. Once I've inspected the case and measured it, I am now ready to run it through my sizing die. I have already adjusted my sizing die so that it should reduce the case to the proper dimensions for the next firing. The case is now properly lubed and ready to go inside the sizing die, so I'm going to run it up into the die, bring it back down. Now I'm going to measure it to see if I've reduced it the proper amount for the next firing cycle. Now, as you recall, when we first measured our case headspace, it was measuring 2.044 inches. It is now measuring 2.041. So we reduced it exactly 3/1000ths of an inch, which is right where I wanted to be. Once I've determined that my headspace dimensions are correct for my casing, now I'm going to look at the overall length and determine how much I'm going to need to trim the casing to bring it back into proper dimensions for overall length. The length of my cartridge, overall length, is 2.093 inches. What I'm going to do is trim it back to about 2.085. This, by the way, is a 30-06 casing that I'm working with today. So we're going to trim it back about 0.008 of an inch to bring it back into proper overall length. For trimming to a proper overall length, I'm going to be using my Hornady case trimmer. I've already got it set up, and we're just going to bring our cutter into the case mouth, and it's going to cut a predetermined amount off of the end of the case mouth. There are electric trimmers that make this a little bit easier. I've just always used the hand trimmer. You can feel when the cutter stops cutting more off the end of the case. And now we'll check the casing with our caliper, and we can see that we are back to the proper dimensions, 2.485 inches. So we now have the proper headspace dimensions and the proper overall case length for our casing. The last thing I'm going to do is run my casing through my Lyman Case Prep Center. And what I'm going to do with this is deburr the case mouth, chamfer the case mouth, then I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to remove any crimp from the primer pocket. I'm going to cut the primer pocket to a uniform depth, and I am going to deburr the flash hole in the casing. What we've done now is return our casing as close as we can to its original overall length, and we have also custom fit the casing to our chamber. We've removed any imperfections from the case mouth and the primer pocket, and we have basically prepared this casing to be the most accurate it can possibly be for firing in our rifle. You do this for each and every chamber, or each and every cartridge rather, and in so doing you are customizing your ammunition for your rifle and hopefully obtaining the most accurate results you can with your rifle. I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope it helps you to load more accurate ammunition for your rifle. In the future, I may do a few more on bullet seating, charging cases, things like that, but today I just wanted to concentrate on case preparation. If you have any questions or comments about this video, please feel free to post those below, and if you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up. Also, if you enjoy more videos like this, please subscribe. Otherwise, y'all have a good day and good shooting. Bye-bye.